Good morning. Welcome to all the new members. Thank you for joining the Graceful Healing Group. This is a place where we could share, where we could learn off each other, experience, and just come together and support each other through this thing we call life. Our lived experiences, our life journey through wherever phases we're at. We're going to be all in different phases. And I think that's just such a beautiful testament of how we support each other. I'm Gracie. Thank you again for being part of Graceful Healing on Saturday early morning. I had to rest because I hosted a moon circle, a full moon circle, which I was so nervous because it was like literally my first moon circle live. I hosted. I've been in moon circles and I love it. And it's just understanding the energies of the moon, and every moon cycle is different because it is happening in different phases and different signs, different energies, different perspective where you're at. And everybody's going to utilize the energy differently, right? And I just think it's a beautiful opportunity to go inward and allow the illumination of the moon to bring forth what has been hiding in the shadows. Shadows is like, we could think of it as a negative, but we could think of it as something that we just don't want to address in that moment or through different cycles of our lives. So it's an opportunity to allow that beautiful moonlit light. Bring it in a way that you are being supported. The group of ladies that was there was so amazing. I thank you for trusting me to lead this moon circle. And I know for me, I felt it. Just the feedback that they gave really encouraged me to do it again. I will be hosting a moon circle, a full moon circle once a month starting 2025, because that was our last moon of 2024. But also, I want to invite, and I will be creating a Zoom link to do a end of the year energy cleanse. And that's just to step into 2025 with taking only what we want to take into 2025. Not the icky stuff, not the attachments, not the fears, not the doubts, not the worries. Not saying that it won't happen in 2025, but we don't want to continue to carry the same cycles over and over. Awareness is really, for me, a vital tool to look back on those intentions on what do I want 2025? What am I hoping to achieve or to experience in 2025? Not through the lens of 2024 and the experience, taking the knowledge of 2024 into 25, because that's how we navigate life, right? Our lived experiences are about taking the knowledge, taking the discernment, taking that wisdom that you gain from lived experiences, whether, it's relationship, whether it's self-reflection, whether it's a lesson to learn about saying your sacred no's or your sacred yeses and releasing the bondage to that experience. And nothing could erase these experiences and it's disappearing. Oh, it's gone, but it's not being imprisoned in that experience. And I could speak for myself. I had learned as I go back into my lived experiences and my awareness and bring healing to them, man, how I imprisoned myself into those experiences because I didn't know any better. And it's not an excuse and it's not victimizing myself. One of my things was like, I will never victimize myself, but I was unintentionally because I didn't know how we could release ourselves. Like, it's a choice. We get to choose what we carry. It doesn't erase the experience, the pain that we gone through, but we get to choose. We get to choose to carry it and carry that pain? Or do we choose to release it, take the experience, bring healing to it, bring healing to ourselves first and foremost, forgive, bring love to it and bring light to it and say, thank you. Thank you that I'm not in that situation anymore or that relationship anymore or that old. And that I go back to, that's why I'm so passionate about our healing journey, because it's not about exterior stuff. It's not about people triggering us. And I had this conversation this week and it was about triggers, right? And it was about how I could trigger somebody, which I know I do sometimes because we're human, and how people trigger me. And I had to sit with myself. I'm like, what are these triggers about? I like to go deep. And when I sit with people that want to work with me, that's one of the things I bring. I will have a series of questions because we need to get to the root of it, right? I like to go deep with people and hear their story and feel where they're at and hold space for them and know that where they are bringing forth, it is their truth. And nobody in this planet, no human can tell us our truth is not our truth because it's through our lived experience. And I like to create a space because I know how it feels to share what I perceive as truth. And someone says, no, that's not true. That's not how it happened. I start doubting myself, right? I start, am I wrong? And this is where the insecurities come up. And it's like, I had to learn that everybody has their own truth and they see and perceive what they experience through their lived experiences. And this is where that separation and proving ourselves and proving our truth to be right. But I sat with my team, I'm like, even though somebody's truth is not my truth, how do I honor? And it's about communication. If someone tells you how you made them feel, honor their truth and listen to it. And if you have a different truth, say, you know, that's not my intention, or this is how I perceive it. And it's not trying to convince them your truth. It's having an open dialogue and a respect and understanding that they perceived it different. And it opens this communication. And I'm like, if I would have known this years ago, if we would have known, but we have to go through lived experience to get to where we are understanding our truth and our wisdom and our knowledge within. So when spirit, you know, called me, it is a calling to share and to be a service to the world of spirit. I was just like, I was afraid of it. And I didn't share it. I didn't share it for a long time, for years. And grab your cup of tea or coffee. I have hot cacao. Um, it helped me understand the cycles I've been throughout. I'm like 50, going to be 51. And I'm like, oh my goodness, because I felt, especially in my younger years, because I was so headstrong, I was like, no one's going to tell me my truth is not my truth, because it was just a repeated cycle that I lived through, that a lot of my relationships, and this is not only my like intimate relationship, it was like friendships and work colleagues and different religious aspects. And it was just like, now looking back, this was a discernment, it was a teaching for me to understand. And like I said, this is my lived experience. And I remember one of my kids coming to me, one of my older kids, and telling me how I made her feel growing up. The first time she told me that, I'm like, nope, I cut her off. And I saw her shrink back. But I wasn't aware of the knowledge that I know now, the experiences, until I started bringing healing to that aspect of my life and bringing healing to my mother wounds, because my mother told me that. And now, and I used to hate it, right? This is where it's so vulnerable, but I have to share this because this is how we pass on generational traumas. And sometimes we don't even know it. When I started my healing journey, I had a mother wound to heal. And I already had my kids. They're all adults. One of my youngest was in high school, but she was technically already not a child. I remember telling my mother something that happened in the past, and she said, no. I go, how dare you tell me no? This is my lived experience. This is what I experienced. She said, no, it's not. You're wrong. And fast forward now, when one of my children came to me and I was telling her no, I was like, I realized I was doing the same trauma, the same thing that defeated or deflated me to my own child. And I said no more. And then as soon as I said no more, all these memories came up. And I was like, okay. And then I started going down this evolution of what is truth? What does that mean for individuals, right? And then looking back at my whole lived experience, I'm like, oh my gosh, this has been a repeated cycle. So next time my child came to me, wait, because I am part of her healing journey. If I could bring healing and awareness in her journey, in her healing journey, and be that, just that person, that mother to sit there and acknowledge her, I'm going to do it. As much as it hurts, because it does. I didn't mean to inflict these wounds, but if I'm here to help her heal them, I'm going to do it. When she came back to me and said this thing, there's no such thing as perfect person, mother, sister, daughter. We're not perfect. And this is where the compassion comes in to yourself. Not to, I was aware of that because I brought healing in that area. Before, I wouldn't beat myself. But this is why it's so important to come in and give yourself grace and learn to forgive yourself, learn to love yourself because you didn't know better. But when it comes back around, you have an opportunity and a choice. And I had a choice to listen to her and acknowledge her truth and have that conversation. I do tell people, if I don't see their truth, I'm like, I respect your truth, but this is my awareness around it. And we have a conversation. And that's what we did. I remember the first time I did that for her, she just looked at me like, you're not going to tell me no? Because she was used to me telling her no. That's not how you feel. I said, I'm sorry that you felt that way. I could only explain and apologize. I can't change it, but I know I'm not that person anymore. It just opened up this conversation for us to bring healing to both of us. And when we think about our truth and we share our truth, it was hard for me to come on live because I was being, because it's something that I need to heal within myself. So anyway, when people deny your truth, doesn't mean that your truth is not truth. They just don't understand your truth, or nor are they willing to, and that's okay. Everybody has a choice to navigate that. And my invitation is, if it's your truth, believe in yourself enough to have that conviction, and understanding, you don't have to prove yourself. And that's the hardest thing, because I know through our lived experiences, we may feel, or we've been conditioned to prove ourselves, our worth. And you don't have to prove yourself, right? But you don't. And it's a self-confidence within ourselves, because I'm still learning. And it's easier said than done to build that awareness of self-worth. And I have so much more self-worth than I did 10 years ago. And I will still continue to evolve. And it's not about other people. It's about me seeing myself. And I have come a long way, and I give myself grace when I don't show up for myself. And the process. And I used to think of my worth of how other people saw me. And when they didn't see me, then I didn't think I was worthy. And especially the people I loved. I thought that they should be seeing my worth, like, why? But this is their lived experience. Just because they can't see you doesn't make you unworthy. Freeing to see myself through the lens of love, not through anybody else's lens of what, not everybody's made for us. Not everybody is aware of their actions and their perceptions. And if they can't see themselves, how are we expecting them to see our light, our love? And, and that's where I had to learn to call back my power, because we have the choice to call back our power. Like my heart's just because it's been a lesson for me too. And it's all about choices. And it's all about how do we choose to show up for ourselves first and foremost. Because when we show up for ourselves and see ourselves fully, whether people see us or not, we get to come into this world each and every day showing up in our authentic selves. It's not going to be easy every day. There's days where I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and my mind is just all these negative thoughts, right? We have to recondition our mind, reprogram our mind. And I used to sit there and allow these thoughts to consume me. And then I would navigate life in a very low vibration, I would say negative, like just very short, very just in my wounds, but I was projecting it outwards and I could hurt people that way. And it's when they say hurting people hurt people, it's so true, because if we're not healed, like I was saying about one of my children, I wasn't healed enough and I was not understanding what truth is and understanding their truth. I would project that on them because I didn't want to face that I wasn't the perfect mother. I wanted to be the perfect mother, but I wasn't. And I learned how to give myself grace and understand there's no such thing as perfection. We do the best we can each and every day. And if you have the opportunity to bring healing and, then we do that or we don't. We have a choice each and every day. And it was really interesting. Like before I came here on live, I'd sit with my team. I sit with my team before I come on live and I'm like, okay, I'm an open vessel. What would you like me to bring through today? And sometimes I think it's going to go on the list and it's like, I knew I was going to talk about choices and decisions and the changes we make through our choices. And I didn't know the dialogue. So it's amazing to me what spirit has me bring through. And it's okay. And what's really interesting is I have this amazing book, right? I love reading. And when I read books, there's no coincidence. Don't believe in coincidences anymore. I have this book and it's called Intimate Conversations with the Divine. And it's all about different aspects of grace. And I use it like an oracle. So I had to mark it because I was just like, you can't make this crap up, right? So I hold my book and I just say a prayer and intentions. Thank you for bringing me grace that I need to know today. Thank you for integrating the wisdom and the connection with the divine source. And then I just randomly open it. And I randomly opened it to soul choices. Because I knew I was going to talk about our free will, our choices, and the choices that, and with that being said, I really want you to give yourself compassion because you're like, oh shit, there's some choices I made but those are your lived experiences. Through these choices, we get to experience life. And whether they are good choices or bad choices, they bring these experiences for us to gain knowledge, gain discernment, gain wisdom for our soul's evolution here on Earth. And when we think about it on a bigger mass, there's 8 billion people on this planet. We're all entwined with each other. There's no denying that. Energies is energy. We all feel each other's energy and we navigate life. And sometimes other people's choices involves us. And it's like, I don't want to, but we live in a planet with 8 billion people. There are going to be entwinements. But with that being said, you come back to yourself. And this is what I love about learning about energy is you could cut those cords. You could send back their energy, carry what only you want to carry and releasing what no longer serves you. We all have free will, and it's understanding what that free will means are here for us to navigate life. And if you're not aware, and then you're like, oh, because we still have our ego who helps us control our choices, and you can't get rid of the ego, nor do you want to. But it's about really understanding yourself and really bringing in, am I making these choices out of fear or old patterns or not thinking about it? It's like calling your power back and understanding like, oh, I get to choose a different way. I get to choose this morning to fully embrace who I am. Like, how do you get up in the morning? Think about your habits. And the only way we could change the only way we change habits, we can't just decide they're going to go away. I mean, if you have that kind of willpower, kudos to you. But for me, it's like, I have to implement a good habit and then slowly the bad habits start going away. So for me, I knew my negative mindset because I held on to these negative situations in my past. And it took away my self-love and self-worth and all this other stuff. So in my healing journey, it's like, how do I start changing my mindset? Because I knew I had to heal my mind, my thought pattern. And so I started slowly, you know, doing affirmations all the time. And that's just ridiculous because that was my first thought. And it's no, but you're telling yourself that I am. Our words carry energy. It's like, it's that prayer outside. I am what's the word I'm looking for, Spirit? You're announcing who you are. So when you look in the mirror, oh, I have wrinkles. I am so old. Guess what you're going to feel? You're going to feel old. You're going to criticize. I used to criticize my curly hair. I'm like, oh, this damn curly hair. And my hair would just be like, now I love it. So it's like, whatever we send out is what's going to be brought back into us. And our words are so powerful. And once I learned that our words, it's in a lot of texts. So in a lot of religious texts, it's a context. It's in the Bible. Our words can carry life or death. Once we say these words, we can never bring them back. So it's about being mindful, but also understanding we're human and it's a learning evolution to be very mindful of what we say. I'm not perfect. I say things and it's like, I shouldn't have said that. But then if I have opportunities to be like, I'm sorry for saying that was totally out of character and out of place. So as learning and having those choices to do better. When you know better, you do better. So when you start your healing journey, wherever you are, I ask you to give yourself compassion because you didn't know back then. And moving forward, it's being aware. I still give myself compassion. Know that wherever you are exactly where you need to be. And your journey will continue to evolve. My journey continues to evolve. When I answered to spirit and created being in service and sharing, I was like, how are people going to receive this? How am I going to receive this? I didn't understand it, but I just knew in my heart, this is what I was meant to do. It took years, and I'm going on 7 years in doing spiritual, sharing my gifts, right? And it took time. I kept it close to friends and family for years. The angels came in and they helped me. I was ready 2 years in healing my wounds of my lived experience because that was also blocking me to understand my intuition. It helped me understand the world of spirit. It helped me understand and love myself through a different lens. It helped me release the prison I put myself in situations in my life, in my past, in my upbringings, I see things differently now than I ever did before. And there's moments, there's still moments where these emotions of the past comes up and it's okay, I have to honor those emotions if it's anger, if it's rage, if it's sadness. And then I'm like, okay, how can I bring more healing to that? And if it's meaning, if I need to go see an energy healer to help me release this cord, or I sit in prayer, or I call in my spirit team and I envision this beautiful light of healing. I call in the angels. Whatever my intuition's leading me to, I go to now because we have access to this. We're not separated from the healing, from the support of the divine. We have these amazing spiritual helpers helping us if we ask and it shall be given. And even in the littlest things, it's in like making decisions. It's like, I don't know because I just am conflicted. Sometimes I just have to ask, like, my spirit team, like, there's no thing too small or too big. They want a relationship with us. And a relationship is not making it, they can't make it better, or they can. They understand our lived experience. And it's okay, there's miracles of angels, but you're not intervening angels. And there's these universal laws. So it's like this unfolding and understanding what our spiritual support team, our council, are here to help us with and navigate. They have been giving me so much inspiration to share different aspects. And like I said, this is my truth. And when you want to connect with your higher self, when you want to connect to your spirit team, whether it's your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your loved ones, you get to build that connection and they will communicate to you through your lived experience. Are you trusting those nudges, those sensations? And if you're not yet, then come back to yourself and ask your spirit team, like, where do I need to heal to trust my gut, to trust my intuition? One of the things for me when I was talking about the three brains in our system, because we have chakra systems, and it's really cleansing all aspects, physically, energetically, spiritually. Once we start clearing our energetic field and healing these chakras, that these emotions, you start to feel and trust yourself even more. So your choices and your decision making, the change you want starts to become more fluidly, they're more flowy, and it's like this freedom and liberation, right? We all have this unique journey. It's your journey that is going to transpire to that. And it's in your awareness and your choice. That answer to, and if we make wrong decisions, choices, give yourself grace. Don't be hard on yourself. It's an awareness that you get to navigate through. Every 24 hours, we get to wake up and choose how our day is going to be. So, with that being said, how do you go to sleep, right? Do you release the day's stress and experiences? Do you go to bed with gratitude, or do you go to bed with fear and anxiety? Because that's how you're going to wake up and that's how you're going to dream. And you could change that. You have a choice to change how you release your energy. My invitation for you always, right, is find a practice. And it doesn't have to be this drawn out practice. It could be 5 minutes. But I will share with you, and mine changes every day. Like there's days I don't, and then I wake up, I'm like, I should have released that energy because I had wild dreams, or I feel drained and I didn't get a restful night's sleep. There's many things why we release the energy of the day. But we have to acknowledge the day too, and experiences that we went through, and the emotions and the connections. So I like to always light my candle. And I do my, whether it's an incense or whether it's essential oils or sacred smoke. It doesn't have to be anything, whatever you feel drawn to. I'm just sharing what I do. And I set my intentions to connect to myself, to the day, and I allow the day to come forward with that intention. And then I invite my angels in, my spirit team. I call them my team. And I ask Archangel Michael and angels to cut the cords that bind me to people, places, situations, stories, dramas, or anything that is standing between me and my greatness. And I thank Mother Earth for transmuting and releasing this energy for the highest and greatest good. And if there's anything I could do better, I sit with myself and it's okay. How did I show up? How can I do better? Thank you for showing me. And then I allow that love through my spirit team to bring it, not in the lens of judgment or criticism or anger or fear. I release it and I say, thank you. Thank you for the teachings. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for showing me where I could be better for myself and for others. And I just sit in that gratitude. Then I start thinking of everything that I am grateful for, because you want to end your night in gratitude. It could be from the oxygen that we breathe every day, the clear air, the stars, the sun, the moon, the relationships, that whole, I go through everything. Some days are harder than others. And what am I grateful for? Because I had a bad day. And I give myself grace for that. It's okay. If I could think of one thing that I'm grateful for, it's like my free will to choose to let this go. Thank you. And I thank God. I thank Creator. Thank you for reminding me that I am always connected to your divine love. Thank you for loving me unconditionally. Thank you for teaching me what unconditional love is for thyself and for others. Thank you. The light within me bows and honors the light within you. And then I read before I go to bed. I don't look at my phone. I don't watch TV. I read something because I have to disconnect. And I noticed as I implemented this practice at night, I sleep better. So I noticed how I'm working with my dreams differently. And if I do have a bad dream, or if I wake up because I'm stressing about this or that work or whatever, I put something on YouTube, and it's, whether it's angelic frequency, it's positive affirmation, it's something good that's going to distract my mind. And then when I'm fully awake, before I'm out of bed, before I look at my phone, I sit in prayer and it's like, thank you for another day. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for your guidance. And thank you for, I just give gratitude, right? First thing in the morning. Then I get up and then I start my day and I listen to, I have on Spotify a high vibe playlist because I want to set the tone. And the way we set up our day is the way our day is going to, not saying it's going to be unicorns and magic all the time, but it gives you a better awareness of how to handle these situations. And you start feeling better and you start feeling connected to self. See how you wake up and sleep, what you're watching, what are your thoughts, and check in with yourself and see, how can I release this? Because you are your highest authority. There is so much different teachings, and it's like, teachings are great. They're here to inspire us to find our inner truth. And if you don't know what practice, look at different teachings that resonates with you, because you will know, your body will feel like this expansion within you, like, ooh, it's okay to mimic other people until you find what works for you. I had it for many years, but my team have helped me like, no, this is an inspiration until you start figuring it out for yourself, and you'll start tweaking it and working it for yourself. And I'm like, oh, yeah, because society wants us to think, oh, you're doing it the way they are. I'm not a belief thief. I will be inspired and I will learn and be like, okay, how am I going to do this? That's my invitation to you. Like, I could bring you suggestions, and if it resonates, try it. And then you'll start learning like, okay, this was what else I want. Because your higher self will be like, yes, it's that call. Like, oh, okay, you're wanting to reawaken this within you. And then you'll start noticing you're implementing your own inner truth. And you'd be like, where did that come from? But it's your reawakening. It's that rediscovery within us. It's always within us, but through our lived experience, it becomes muted or it becomes dormanted. And that's what I love about healing. Our healing journey. It's not that we're always in it, but in these cycles, it reawakens our inner truth, our inner knowledge that's in all of us. And it's rediscovering it for ourselves. And then you get to see and explore that within yourself. And it's freaking mind blowing. I love it. So I'm going to let you go now. I hope this message, this sharing inspires you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I will come here and share my lived experience, my awareness with my spirit team, with the world of spirits. If you have any questions, next year I'm creating now for next year, little glimpse of what's happening in Graceful Healing. I am going to open up 3 spots, and it's going to be a month container of one-on-one mentorship. And it's going to be unique to where you are at. So for 3 people to be in my energy and art in this container, it's going to be individual, but also together. And it's going to have one-on-one with me once a week, and then once a week together. So we could support each other through this process. I'm getting excited for it. For a long time, I wanted to do this, but it was hard because I thought it had to be these things. But Spirit always comes back. I don't like to be put in the box, and not one thing fits all. So that's why you have that one-on-one with me, and we will navigate where you're at. And it's all about where you're at in your journey, in your healing journey. If you want to understand how you work with spirit or just with yourself, it all depends where you're at and what your intentions are. And then I'm talking about the healing. I'm like, who am I? Difficult people. And spirit is you walk the walk. And I'm like, oh, I know how it feels to be supported. And of course, do I want to support others through their journey? Not saying my way is the only way, because it's not my way. We're going to discover through your way and discover what works for you. And through my intuition and trusting your intuition, connecting you to your spirit team and trusting your higher self. So I'm excited. It's going to be one-on-one in the group in the container of 3, 4 with me in it. There's going to be a boxer call. I was going to do WhatsApp. You can have access to me for whatever's coming up so we can navigate it together. It's going to be a 1-month container. And then if that evolves into one-on-one mentorship for 3 to 6 months, then that's going to come down the line. But I'm going to start with 1 month. Whoever signs up needs more support, then they know how to access me. That access to me is always available. So I'm excited about that. I want to do once a month moon circles, once a month energy clearing. So yeah, some things are changing in Gracie's world. I'm excited for next year. I think I want to do some teachings as a group. Spirit has been bringing me so much, and then there was this fear, like, but I know when Spirit calls, I answer. And I'm a service. This is the work of Spirit. I am a conduit, a vessel for the world of spirit, and I will always bring the acknowledge back to Spirit. I could not do what I'm doing if it wasn't the co-creation with Spirit. And I'm just so humble and grateful for all the teachings and all the lessons and the communication with the world of spirit. I honor the world of spirit. I honor our divine creator, God. I honor Mother Earth. And we are the bridge between heaven and earth. And I know when we understand who we are, we bring more healing to the world. When we truly honor who we are and understand that we all are the bridge, we are the light, and we all come from different backgrounds. We're diverse. And that's what makes this world so beautiful and so colorful and flavorful. because we all shine our unique light and our knowledge and our awareness and different perspectives. And there's no one or right way. There's our way. We're all created individually through the image of our Creator and Mother Earth. We can't forget Divine Mother. And that uniqueness builds that bridge of separation. We are the way makers. We are going to change the way we move forward through our healing, through our love for ourselves and Creator and love of life. So that's my hope moving forward. And I know when we embody the full essence of love, that vibrates outwards. We create that ripple effect. We are that drop of water in that beautiful vast of life. And that ripple effect goes outwards. And we inspire others to honor themselves. And that's what our energy does. When we are in that expansive energy of true love for thyself and everyone around us, and we know that we are not separated, man, the world will change. And I know it. I know it. I know it. Call me a dreamer. I am. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Sending you so much love. Thank you for being part of Graceful Healing. Enjoy family. Love yourself. Love exactly who you are, where you are, and know that you are loved unconditionally. I love you all. Have a wonderful day.